Hello and welcome to the Wholesaling and Flipping Houses in New York show, where I teach you how to start wholesaling and flipping houses, and if you're already doing it, how to grow your business. So this is by request, and it's a great question because a lot of people don't even know that this exists, but the standard contract in New York is not assignable. Clause 26 in the standard New York contract says not assignable. So someone asked me, how do you get around that? So there are really two ways to do it. Well, there's only one way to do it. Your attorney is going to have to negotiate with the seller's attorney to get that clause 26 crossed out. Now, what you really should be doing is talking to the seller before he even speaks to his attorney about it. Okay, and you should tell him, I need the contract assignable. No seller is going to know what the hell that means. And what I basically say to the seller is, listen, I work with different entities. I have private investors that have different entities, and I want to close when we say we're going to close and get you the money when you're supposed to get the money. But sometimes my private lenders will come to me 2 hours before the closing and say, I want to hold this in my self-directed IRA, or I want to open another LLC for it. And I have to do that. And if the contract is not assignable, it's going to hold up the closing. So I like to make sure when your attorney will speak to you about it, but I want the contract to be assignable. It doesn't have any effect on the money you're going to get. It just makes it much easier to make sure you're going to get it when we say we're going to get it. That's how I frame that topic in a way that helps the seller. Now, there are people who say that you want to be completely transparent in this and say to people, I'm going to assign this to somebody else. I think that it's a mistake. Now, I would love to have that freedom to be able to talk about that, but I think in New York, it's just something that sellers don't understand. Sellers just want to know they're going to close when they think they're going to close, and they want to know they're going to get the money that you say you're going to give them. That is their concern, getting the money and when they hope it's going to happen. They don't want to get pushed off, and they don't want to get less. So I think when I frame it this way, and it's important to frame it before he speaks to his attorney, because what I used to do, which was a mistake, and what happens most of the time, is that the seller's attorney sends his contract to your attorney, and then your attorney sends him back a contract, says, I need it to be assignable, I want a smaller deposit, I want something in there about showing it. And then the seller's attorney gets thinking that this is not a real buyer. This guy is full of crap. And goes back to his client, the seller, and says, I don't know about these guys. Do you know anything about them? Like, do you know they're real? And the seller goes, I don't know. The guy sent me a postcard and he came to my house. So if you have the conversation with the seller, let's say about assignability, and the seller's attorney calls his client back after your attorney made changes on the proposed contract and says he wants it assignable, and he goes, hey, this guy wants it assignable, and the seller goes, yeah, we spoke about it, it's fine. 9 times out of 10 it's not going to be an issue. So that's, again, I frame it in terms of I need that flexibility to make sure we close when you want. If you frame it that way, I think it's a good idea, and that's how you want the seller to understand it. There are still sellers' attorneys who are going to look at it and go, no way, this guy's going to flip it, this guy's crazy. And you're going to have to deal with that on occasion. Sellers' attorneys do kill deals. Absolutely, it absolutely happens. But we need to know, we need to be clear to the seller that we need that to happen. And if you're going to wholesale, it's the only way to do it. So if you don't do this before the contract gets signed, you have an unassignable contract. And that is not someplace you want to be when you're wholesaling. So I try to get every contract assignable. Even if I'm pretty sure I'm going to close on it, I try to get it assignable. So I think it's a good move. And if you have any questions about it, you can go, my phone number is below or above, however you're watching it. And if you want to see how I can help you, go to howtoflipnewyork.com. And what else? If you're watching on YouTube, please subscribe. If you have any comments, comment. This came from a comment that I got recently. Please like these videos. Thumbs up really helps my SEO. So thank you for watching. Again, if you have any topics you want me to cover, feel free to comment on them. If I covered them recently, I'll just send you the link to the latest YouTube video or Facebook Live. So thank you very much for watching. I really appreciate it.